All right, let's do this. I scared the cat by clapping. Sorry, cat. Sorry for clapping. Sorry for clapping in my own office. I got to edit this chapter, and then I got to write the next chapter. Those are my goals for today. All over this cup. So there we go. So I'm going to be a little quieter today than normal. But I'm sure once people jump into the chat and blah, 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 we'll have a raucous time. There we go. There's Keith. Speaking of raucous time. I'm about halfway through with this editing this chapter. And again, it's not a huge edits. There's a couple of typos I'm finding. And some of the sentences are... I mean, I wrote this thing, I don't know, 5 years ago. I think it was the first pass on this thing. Maybe longer. So... Because I'm editing, which means I'm reading the story. In order to edit a story, you have to read the story. I'm actually reading the story now. And so far, this story is gorgeous. So there's no reason to touch. You don't change perfection just to change it. There, see, I clicked. They gave me a suggestion. It was wrong. I clicked it off. Speaking of raucous times, who wants some Hardee's? I'll tell that story in a little bit. Tom, I need you to do me a big favor. Us a big favor. We got to figure out the White Trilogy, the covers. And I want Matt to do them, and they have to look the same idea as the black covers. And I have no problem if you put that together, send it to Matt and tell Matt I want all three covers done, bang, 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 no waiting. I want all three covers done, and send me the invoice for all three covers, and I will pay him. Do we understand one another? Keith allows. Thank you, Keith. I appreciate you allowing me to read my story first before I do an edit. Okay, perfect. And you can do that as soon as you want, because I'd like to get those done. I mean, next month, literally. Let me look. Yeah. What is it, October? Yeah, October. So like October 6th, that first one comes out. So I'd like to have it all lined up and done. There's Lorraine. What's up, Lorraine? Keith's yelling at me for no reason. And I don't ever yell at him, so I don't know where the anger's coming from. Okay. Positive Friday, right. Yeah, he has an authoritative voice. Exactly. I said to Keith, I got to edit and then write. And then I was reading because, in order to edit something, you have to read it first. And he started yelling about, I don't hear any keyboards. I don't hear any keys clacking. Well, you can't clack anything until you read the story. It was positive. I shouldn't mention the 2 rejections I got today. You know what? It is positive, though, because it's positive that you're not going to be, that story is going to go in that particular thing. But now you move on. I had a flash fiction piece yesterday or the day before. So that was from one of my. No, that wasn't from one of the 30 that I put out because this one was accepted a couple of months ago. I totally forgot about it. One from Flashback, one from you keep hitting those. One of these days, though, Keith, you're gonna get in both of those. I've not tried the dark. All 30 things out right now. I think Flash Frog I got a no on a while ago, but I've not tried again. When I can't see some of you through YouTube channels, I have to guess at what you sound like. You can figure out what I sound like. Keith, have you ever seen what's her name? Have you ever seen that woman, Meryl Streep? Keith sounds exactly like Meryl Streep. It's uncanny. How many places do you guys send out to? Well, I have here we go. I have 30 short stories right now floating, and I believe I have 57 to still send out, plus anything I write. So I find a ton of, I like flash fiction. And so there you go. So in case you're watching this and you don't know, I'll give you the short version because I've talked about it many times the last couple of days on my walk and talk, on my video today about deadlines. But basically, I have to finish this book now, and I'm like 30,000 words into it, 10 chapters into it. Been done for a while, so I'm kind of playing with it. And then I'm going to actually start doing some writing on chapter 11 and beyond. It's probably going to be about 30 chapters, I'm guessing. I'm probably going to get about 80,000 words on this. It's a supernatural thriller, which I didn't think I was going to go back to. But when I talked to the publisher Wednesday night, I realized the thing that I was going to send them, that they asked for, they thought it had a horror element to it. It does not. Because I had originally started, I guess when I originally started, I said Southern Gothic noir crime thriller. And then it's like, there's really no noir and there's no Gothic in this at all. So it's a Southern crime thriller. But they were like, yeah, as long as it has a horror element. I'm like, oh, but I didn't tell them anything else. So I'm going to send them, I'm going to swerve and finish this one and send them this book. 57 in a row. I see what you did there, son. I'm not organized enough to keep up with that, so I'll stick with novels for now. Yeah, I have like a whole spreadsheet that my wife created for me, and it gives me like when the story was written, title of the story, word count, what genre or subgenre it's in, if I've submitted it, who I've submitted it to, the date of submission, the date it was rejected or the date it was accepted, color coding, the whole nine. And if the story gets rejected, I start it over again at the bottom of that list, and I just keep moving that list down. There's Frank. Hello, party people. Play Whoop, There It Is in your head. Yeah, I prefer Woot, There It Is, the song that was stolen from the Jacksonville band. I forget what their name is. Where I submit always depends on the story, but I practically send everything to the dark There enough. Yeah, exactly. That's one of those. I'm sure you start there, and then in 3 days it gets rejected, and then you're like, oh, let me find something else. I hope that works out for me too, Lorraine. I am completely stressed. What if they're watching right now? They don't know. And you know what? They don't care because as long as I got a book to send them. I still want to write a short story, but I'm intimidated. You should not be intimidated. Just write a short story. A lot of times, especially in the beginning of my career, if I finished a novel, I would write a short story, but with like one of the minor characters. I enjoyed doing that. Like somebody who really wasn't part of the main plot. Like you're in your book, which I read more of, by the way, yesterday, Lorraine. Um, like the caretaker for the cemetery. That guy, that he probably has some good stories in him. So like you write a short story with that guy in it. You use it as a reader magnet for your mailing list or something, or you just put it out there to entice people to read your book. Intimidated by what, Lorraine? You guys make it look easy, but it seems more good to pull off well than a novel. It's you're still doing the same formula. You're still doing the three acts. You're still doing telling a complete beginning to end story. You're just not writing all of the rest of the stuff. You're condensing it to an idea that doesn't need to have to be 60,000, 100,000 words or whatever. Keith says, just do it, Lorraine. No one else needs to see it if you don't want. Yeah, it's, you know what? You practice. Practice. Keith knows. Was there a how to guide? I'm not good at anything with brother. Yeah, like the great Shia LaBeouf once said, do it. I'm sure he's still saying it. Just smokers and full ideas. Right. The idea you have for a book, crime thriller novel, I might have a ton of ideas and I mash them up. But literally, I think the one of the stories I had recently published was the idea was a guy and a girl pull up to a convenience store and he's going to go in and rob the place. And she says, hey, make sure you get me a coffee and a couple of glazed donuts. And he goes inside and a shootout occurs and she gets in the car and drives away. That's the story. Now, I could have had a whole that's a small subplot kind of thing, but I'm like, you know what? That was literally like, I don't know, 600 words, 700 words, something like that. But you just come up with that small little idea and you write that story and it got accepted. How many words should I keep it if I want to submit it? Keith says 2,000 to 4,000 words. Yeah, never go over 5,000 words. Anything over 5,000 words is a tough sell. Anything under 1,000 words is flash fiction. All right, short stories, but they somehow turn into novellas. Speaking of somebody turning into novellas, Chad Lutsky in the house. I don't know what that meant. Okay, I would love to use it as a way to lean harder into adjacent genres, especially horror light. Yeah, and I think for me, horror is better suited for short stories and novellas. Writing and reading. And obviously selling, because a lot of publishers also look and they go, yeah, we want 50,000 words for a novel. But you know what? You just got to do it. You just got to pull an idea from the ether and write it. God, I laugh at my own writing because it's just so good. I'm bringing tears to my eyes. This book, how can this book not be published? Trying to read this. I'm trying to read this. I got to edit this last chapter before I can write the next chapter. You stop with the don't with the magic show. I'm gonna finish this chapter. I got another page or so real quick because it's literally brilliant. Oh, actually, that was the end of that chapter. All right, story time. Yesterday, I had to go get the oil changed. I also had to go to the library. One of the 4,000 books I have on hold was in. So I go to the library and I go and there's no gas in the pickup truck. So I go and get gas. And right next door is a Hardee's. And I say, you know what? When's the last time you had a Hardee's? I just say that out loud. And people are looking at me like I'm crazy. So I go to Hardee's. I get in line at Hardee's. I'll read all these comments later. And there's two people in front of me and there's a couple people behind me. They're busy. It's like 12 o'clock. It's like noonish. And this gentleman comes in, kind of dirty looking. And he walks, Hardy, they have like you got to go around through the thing. And he stands right behind me. And he says, "You got me?" I said, "What? You got me?" I said, "No." Then he taps the person in front of me. "You got me?" The guy's like, "I don't know you." "No." So he keeps asking everybody in line, "You got me? You got me?" And everybody just ignoring him or just saying no. And then I get up there. I order the mushroom Swiss. I say to the guy, "All I want is the mushroom and the Swiss on the burger and the bun. Nothing else." He's like, "All right, I think that's all there is anyway." I said, "All right, I don't want any condiments. I don't want anything else. Don't put anything else on it." "No problem." So I get my drink. I go fill up with some sweet tea, standing there. This guy's still bothering people as they come in. Well, there's this big dude. I mean, this guy's like 6'6". He's wearing like one of those orange vests, like he's working on a road crew or chain gang or something. This dude is big. So he walks in, and the guy says to him, now the guy's like in line. There's like one or two people in front of him now. And then this guy comes in right behind him. And he says, "You got me?" And the big guy says, "What? You got me? Pay for my meal?" And he says, "No." So now this guy gets up to the front, but instead of ordering, he turns to the big guy and he says, "You got me, right? If I order, you going to pay for it?" And he says, "No, don't say that again. Don't ask me again. I'm on my lunch break. I don't have a lot of time. So order your food and pay for it or get out of my way." So this guy's just staring at him. He says, last, like something stupid, like, "Last chance, you're going to pay for it, right?" This big dude reaches out a leg and hooks this guy and just trips him. Boom, he hits the ground. Before he could even move, the big guy has his giant, he must have like a 14, size 14 work boot on. He puts his work boot right on the guy's neck, on the ground in front of the counter. And you can see he's leaning forward, putting pressure on it. And this guy's like, and he's like, "Man, I told you not to say it again." So now the manager comes running out from behind the counter, and a couple of the people in the kitchen come running out, and they're like, "Don't kill him, don't kill him." And he finally lets up, and then the guy was like, the big guy's like, all I need is, I just want to get some food, and they're like, yeah, no problem. So then they start yelling at the guy on the ground who's trying to get up, and they're like, we told you, the manager's like, we told you, you were not allowed in this store. I was going to call the cops next time you came in this store. You keep harassing the people. You keep coming in here. And he's like, I'm hungry. I just want some food. And then the big guy's like, maybe if you asked a little nicer than just demanding from people, they get you food. So he's like, you know what? What do you want? You tell me what you want up there. And the guy's like, forget it. He's like, okay, fine, then I won't buy you food. The guy's like, number 3. So the manager goes around and he's like, you sure? And he's like, I just want to eat. I got to go back to work. So he orders number 3. So the manager said, whatever, it's like a burger. The manager says, you want the double or the single? And the guy he's standing up, leaning against the counter, he says double. And the guy paying for it says a single. And then the guy's like, yeah. So he orders food, and then the guy says, don't look at me. Don't say a word to me. He's like, well, I just want to thank you. He's like, don't say a word to me. All right, we'll put you back down. And meantime, I'm standing by the drinks. This whole thing's going on. The guy standing next to me, he just goes, when he drops the guy and steps on the neck, he just goes, wow. I said, right? Wow. Just wow. And it was like super hot, and it was like 100 degrees yesterday. The air was not working. I ate like half of my sandwich, and I was like, I'm going to throw up. It is so friggin' hot in here. And then I left. The guy got his food, and he left. Frank says, I think your walk-in talk is starting to pay off. You don't seem to be huffing and puffing as hard as you were a few weeks ago. I actually weighed yesterday, and I am 346. I know right after after last week I was a lot heavier. So I have been eating better, not eating great. I'm eating better. My wife also found she went to the doctor yesterday to get her pills, and the Rybelsus they don't make anymore. It's like some new thing that we have to take, but it's still in pill form. I'm not taking a shot. But they were talking about, she was talking about to the doctor about, I have a lot of skin tags. Like I got one on my eye, which drives me nuts. And we do like these things to get rid of them. But like I have a lot of skin tags. I'm going to be honest with you. This body is just dreadful. And so she mentioned it to our doctor. And I also have a lot of fat through here. And she said it might be from whatever. And she said there's a pill you can take that has just come out, like a newer version, and basically it gets rid of, it's for your liver. Basically, you need to cleanse your liver, some crap like that. And that won't get rid of the skin tags, but it'll tell your body to stop making skin tags. And it'll also get rid of some of this if I eat better and I walk. So she ordered a bottle of that. We're going to try it, see what happens. But I was happy I wasn't over 350 or 360 pounds. 346 is still grossly obese. Obviously, I would love to be under 300. So we're gonna try that. I'm trying not to eat too much crap. I had some butterfly shrimp for lunch today. I had eight butterfly shrimp because that was all that was left in the box. Tonight I'll have one cheeseburger and some tater tots for dinner instead of having 3 cheeseburgers and all the tater tots. So I'm gonna do better. Speaking about the size 14 workbook, Charlie's here. Yep, Charlie is in the house. Armand, that video today looks like a great idea. Going to watch it this afternoon. Well, thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that. Size 14 sounds like you found this gun game. Shelly's dad was a size 14 shoe. But he was like 6'6". Well, Charlie did an unboxing video. Nice. Frank says, normally I would never encourage anyone to be a shut-in, but I know, right? Like, why do I leave the house? I have no idea how, but the Friday after Mondo kind of was down for us, right? Because you weren't eating at a steady clip like we did those 4 days. That's what I think. That's what I think happened with me. I have a lot of skin tags around my neck caused by the shirts rubbing and irritating the skin, or it could be from your liver. They said it around your neck and in your underarms. If you start getting a lot of skin tags, it's because you have whatever the thing is. I feel like I didn't do Monocon correctly because of that. Yeah. Try to accept random arcs from authors, like say from a certain new Southern Gothic author who just finished a literary folk horror. Who are you talking about, Lorraine? Charlie doesn't know. You gotta spell it out for him. You can't just throw out like that. And he's like, I don't know who you're talking about. I'm a size 14 shoe. You know, well, yeah, big socks, big socks. All right, so I've finished the edits to chapter 10 now. This book is brilliant. Now I wrote I'm almost done with this next chapter, as a matter of fact. I just got to read and review it. I got to do a quick edit on this as well. And then I can start adding words to this. I've also I went back to the post-it notes where I write 9 to 9:30, edit chapters 7, 9:30 to 10, emails and record that video, which I did. 10 to 10:30, edit chapter 8, 10:30 to 11, buffer a bunch of stuff in because tomorrow until the 19th, low tide. Tom, just so you know, low tide tomorrow is free through the 19th. We're giving it away, so everybody read that, and hopefully it'll jumpstart. We'll sell the second and third book on it. Then 11 to 12 was lunch and upload the video, although I did it earlier. And then 12 to 1 is edit 9 and 10, which I did. Now, when I get off of here at 1, then officially I can start writing my first writing session. I'm doing 5 of them today, and they're going to be Mondo method, so they're going to be about 600 words each. I put the finishing touches on Static and Shadow, the novella inspired by Lorraine. So Lorraine is Static and Chad is Shadow, is what I'm guessing. Explain to me playoff standings and the wild card thing like I'm 5. The top team in the American League and the top team in the National League who have the best record at the end of the year, they get a bye. The top 2 teams. I'm sorry. The top 2 teams in each one get a bye. So they don't have to play a first round. You got 3 wild card teams, and the other division winner with the worst record of those division winners, they become the number 1, the number 3 seed, and that they'll play the number 3 wild card, and then the 1 and the 2 wild card will play each other. So there's two games in each wild card, a best of 5, and then you'll have 2 winners. Each from that, and then those 2 winners will play the top 2 winners, and the top 2 winners they get home field advantage. So I think that's a 5. I think that's also no wild card is a 3 game, and it's played by whoever has the best ranking. The second round is a best of 5, and that's played by whoever at that point has the best ranking. So now you're down to 2 teams in each division in American League and National League, and they'll play a best of 7. And it's first 2 games from the best, the next 3 games on the road, and then the last 2 games, if necessary, back at home for the best team. And then those 2 teams go to the World Series. So right now, Tigers got that 3rd spot. If they can hold on to that 3rd spot, then they will play whatever division winner has the worst record. At this point, if the playoffs started today, I think it would be Houston. I think Chicago and Tampa Bay would get buys in the American League. There we go. I watched on MLB Network last night. I watched the MLB Presents thing about Mark the Bird Fidrich again. That one always makes me tear up. The guy died pretty young. But also cool because they talk about when he came back from being injured, he came back and his first game back at Tiger Stadium. I'm like, I was there. Literally there. I literally wrote about it in my baseball book. But we still have a month and a half left. I think we got 40 games left. So a quarter of the season left. A lot can happen. So Crappy Team now has a chance to win a trophy they have no right competing for. Just like hockey and football and what's the other sport? Basketball. Yeah, pretty much. More teams in the playoffs means more money for the league. That's all they care about. I did not watch the Phillies game last night. I was stressed about this book and trying to do stuff with this. I watched the highlights last night. I always watch MLB Network. They showed the highlights, Schwarber's home run and all that. I thought it was cool. The lead up, I watched some of that stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. They always do that classy every year. Your computer auto-corrected boring to red. Wow. Positive Friday, Mr. Edler. Positive Friday. Oh, well, since the league doesn't make... Yeah, exactly. New Chance put out 50 best thrillers of 20%. Apparently, I need to read Tana Friend. Oh, my God, yeah. Did you see that? I read that, too. Four on the top 50. A lot of the people who were asked are also sharing their top 50 as well, which is pretty neat. It's not like it cost me $500 a person to attend a Yankees game. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure those tickets are very cheap. Here's $12. We're all gonna, all 50 of us are gonna come in. Sure, sit wherever you want. Don't matter. We'll have a lockout next year. Who apparently one of the greatest thriller authors of all time. I think, in fact, I think 2 books were like back to back on that list, which is crazy. I have read. I didn't do a count. I have read some of those books, but not all of them. Yeah, I can't. There's no way I can review everything, but I do. I will do an unboxing video for all of them. Let people know they're out there, and then if it's a company that a publisher that I really like, or I know it's an author I really like, or a book that seems really interesting, I'll put that towards the top of the list. But I mean, I literally have about maybe 100 print books on my nightstand right now. It's like four stacks of about 25 each. A couple of the stacks are above the lamp now, the top of the lamp. So there's no way I'm going to get to everything. And I keep going to the library and pulling books. Yesterday, I grabbed the autobiography that just came out from Patricia Cornwell. But I never looked, so I'm like, oh, that's like a 500-page book. I'm not sure when I'm going to get to this one. Yeah, Tubergs was like 39 and 38 or something. Yeah, I've only read maybe 7 or 8 of the ones on that list. I probably have read more on that list than you have. But you listing books, I'm like, I don't even know what this book is. You're just making up. I think you're just making up covers. I think you're like, Frank, make me a cover for a couple of books, and I'll make pretend I'm a bougie and I read all these books. So The God of the Woods is listed at number 5. Yeah, great book, despite what Keith says, who has really no intelligence when it comes to books. I grabbed Keith Richards' autobiography recently. Couldn't believe how many pages that thing is. Probably goes back to when he was born in 1802. Right, that's the problem. It's like a year. Every year he was born has a page, so it's like 10,000 pages. I need something nutty and nonfiction like the Crazy Eddie book. That was a good one. Yeah, I'm reading nonfiction, but they're not nutty and crazy. I felt all smart because I'd read one of Tom's life changing books. Yeah, I think I found one. I was like, hey, I actually read this one. Half of them, like, Tom, are you just making this up? You never read this. Don't try to be all highfalutin. I'm just gonna read this chapter what I've written so far. Out of frozen pizzas, you gotta keep ahead. The gumption to read Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. That sounds like a Tom book. Yeah, you should always have my wife's grandmother always said you should have in her pantry. She would have like canned goods, and she would always say you should have at least 13 of everything. That was the number. 13. You want, oh, go grab a can of corn, but we only have 13 of them. So we got to order another can of corn. That just seems like a lot of corn to me. But I mean, with frozen pizzas, if you're literally eating those things every day, you should have at least 13 of them. And when they go on sale, go crazy. The book changed my life in as much as it made me realize I hate reading philosophy books. Apparently, the philosophy didn't stick with you, Lorraine. I had my wife order me 3 bags of salad, different salads. Like the one we had at MondoCon, the ones with whatever was in it, the sunflower, whatever one, the Asian one, and a bacon Caesar salad. Like, you know what? I need to eat more salad. Part of the cleansing. We also should have our bread of the day box should be here at some point today. I would imagine while I'm on here because it always comes while while I'm here. So in the next 20 minutes, I should get it, and also a food order at 3:00 from Walmart with my salads and whatnot, and my creamer, my Dunkin' creamer, which we went through like 3 of those at MondoCon over that weekend. Tom says that sunflower one was good, right? Wasn't that good? She ordered it for me a couple weeks before. She's like, I don't know if you're going to like this. She's like, but, I don't like, what is this? What do you got? Here's the mailman. He was looking at a bag. And I'm like, is that my bag? Ain't my bag, man. Oh, he's getting out. Oh, he's getting out. Oh, it's closed. I guarantee you this is closed for my wife. Oh. Yep, that's exactly what it's going to be. But yeah, that sunflower one was really good. She always finds, like, she knows I don't like ranch. So anytime it comes with ranch dressing, she's automatically like, no. But then those she found, she's like, you know what, this should be good. And window look is right. I'm gonna have to go grab this because again, I got a food box, 2 different food orders coming today. All right, he's pulling away. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go grab this bag real quick. Whew. All right. Yep, it was for her. Keith says, if you get that parasite, there will be plenty of cleansing. Yeah, well, I'm going to stop going out of the house. So unless it enters my house, I think I'm good. Frank asked Tom, did that season change your life like it did Frank's? Troy says ranch is gross. I agree. You should do a 30-second walk and talk when you get up to do these. You know why I don't? Because I can't put ads on it. Not worth it. We didn't even start Reacher. I think tonight we will. Tonight, and then she's off tomorrow, so we'll probably watch it tonight and or tomorrow. I know she wants to go for a bagel. She's like, we need to go for bagels. We haven't gone out for bagels on a Saturday morning. I'm like, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Bagel it up. A lot of people asked me if I read Savage Season. Everybody did, and he still hasn't answered. Peter Marsh is still like, is Frank ever going to answer? I'm like, no. You know what? No. The funny part in this book, for me anyway, is that the town in it is near Jacksonville, right? And I call the town Stark Lake. So anytime I hit where it says Stark Lake, I got to change because Stark Lake became a name of a town that I used for the book Stark Lake. I'm like, well, this is not. So I got to change it to. So far, I just like small town kind of thing. I'm not even giving it a name. Sunday night, the new Lantern show premieres on HBO. You people enjoy that. I have no interest in lanterns. I have no interest in green ones, and I have no interest in HBO. But I'm sure for people who like that stuff, they will love it. I've seen a couple people who have talked about it. So if you're into that stuff, you're into it. Normally, I wouldn't encourage people to do drugs, but I think Peter should experiment a bit. How are we? You know what, Keith? I ask that same question daily. We're friends because we like complete opposite things. Chad, you're not supposed to be talking about great HBO series. You're only supposed to be talking about Tubi. Unless now, oh my God, HBO is now also paying Chad. Ugh. We're the new odd couple. Yeah. Stoner simply. Oh my God. Yeah. I just told that story to somebody. Oh, to Chuck when I was on the phone. I was like, Chuck, you should have been here. You should have seen the generous pour Peter gave me. I mean, the cup was this big, and he put like 2 ice cubes, and then he started pouring my bourbon into it, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Who the hell's going to drink that much bourbon and like that? And then I cut it down to half, but it's still like 4 fingers of bourbon, 5 fingers of giant fingers of bourbon. I got a little buzzed on that one. So that paying Chad for Tubi thing is true. Listen, I don't know if you need to hear this again, Lorraine. Everything Chad says is a lie. Chad is the Benedict Arnold of streaming. He goes wherever the money is. Chad, you are right then. Thank you for asking. Generous would have been 3 less fingers in Sam. Yeah. But he looks really? He looks honest? I think Chad, just looking at him, you just see the dishonesty behind his eyes. He has dishonest eyes. Or Betty Davis eyes. Peter may overpour, but at least he now knows who every person in all your photos are. Yeah, we're sitting at the dining room table, so I have a wall in my dining room, and I mean, I have nothing to do with it. But it's like my entire family, Shelly's entire family, like all the things, our wedding pictures, and all of our kids, and the nieces and the nephews, and her parents, and my parents, on and on. And Peter asked about every single person in every single picture. What are you writing, a book? There's not actually supposed to be any ladies in the chat. That's why it fell a little flat because of that. Who is this? Is this my food? I think I go to the turn around, come back. Maybe this is the bread order. I mean, you got 10 minutes. I usually only ever get this bread order when I'm on with you guys. We made sure to get some brioche rolls. And those really good chocolate cookies, too, even though we should stop eating those. Ooh. I don't know. I didn't get anything yet. No, not pubs. No, This is the wild grains, the bread order. We get like 6, 7 different kinds of loaves of bread, and we get free 6 pack of croissants. And then at 3 o'clock, I'll get an order from Walmart. No pub subs, no wall subs or Mart subs, whatever they call them. No, not interested in Dave's hot chicken. I'm not even uh, interested in Dave's mild chicken. You know what I'm saying? No, not Nick's bread. Peach cobbler. They do have peach cobbler, but I don't. We didn't order peach cobbler. They have a lot of different various cheesecakes, but we don't. Yeah, where the hell's Nick? I forget what bread we ordered. I know she always. I'm like, don't order any more sourdough bread. Enough with this. We got like 6 loaves of it still in the freezer. Basically, everything comes in the box. Um, it just gets frozen until you're ready to use it. The cool part is it comes with 2 giant slabs of dry ice usually. So then I always put them in the sink and then I pour water on them and then it's smoke fills the house. I'm like a 5-year-old. There's Nick. Cheese bread is right. I believe one of the breads we're getting is a cheese bread. Nick needs his own line of weird sweaters. He already has a whole line of weird sweaters, it looks like. Blackberry cobbler will work too, but no one makes cobblers around here anymore. I thought this was the South. Yeah. Yeah, you're living in the dirty South. I guess since we're going to try to lose some weight, I won't ever get apple pie again. I do like me some apple pie. And don't say anything cool or clever. I mean, I haven't in 55 minutes. I don't know why I would. You know what? That's a give you the big, cool and clever push at the end, and then be like, "I'm out of here." He says it's still a fruit. Yeah, I do love an apple pie though. I'm able to summon Nick the way you're able to summon drama. Actually, you could probably switch out a serving apple pie for all that bread. Yeah. Well, the problem is we don't eat all the bread, so she had stopped it for like 6 months. She put a pause on it because we had like 12 loaves, like literally the second refrigerator in the garage. I mean, there's one in the kitchen, there's one in the garage. The freezer part of it is just overflowing with bread. So I don't even know where I'm going to put this bread, to be honest with you. Nix has got more sweaters coming. Frank needs to stock up for MondoCon 7, the 7th son of the 7th Don. Son. Don's son. Don King's son's coming. That he's the special guest. Thanks for ruining the surprise for everybody, Nick. Nick, please tell me those are all your designs. That would be cooler. These shirts are based on pictures he's taken. Let's see. Saturday special dinner guest, Eddie. Rollins says an upcoming memoir coming out that specifically deals with his childhood, including abuse, military school meeting, in the UK, and Instagram. First day buyer. Nice. Who's putting it out? See if I can get a free copy. Keith, please. Alien Cat was my favorite for the record. That was a good one. Nick had some interesting sweater choices, even though it was 100 degrees here. Whoa. Nick took that as a challenge, Frank. Geezer Butler press release. Well, I just assume he wrote it. Oh yeah, that's right. He does his own thing. I'll send him a message. Keith. Yeah, exactly. You tell him, Lorraine. I'm getting here right in time because now I'm almost done editing this partial chapter, and then I can get some writing in. Stop listening to Keith saying dirty words and stuff. Yeah, obviously we have our minds in the gutters, Keith. What do you expect from us? I'm just being punny. Hey, listen, I get it. A bread alien sweater would be a great starting point. Maybe switch it up to a bread javelina solving a Rubik's Cube. Or a wild boar. Either way. All right, we've done an hour. I got to get some writing in. I got to get some work in today. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me. Everybody have an awesome weekend. Chad, I will see you Sunday morning. Otherwise, I will see all of you people, and I say that derogatorily, you people, on Monday. We will do this again. We will hang out and do this again. I'm going to try to get at least one walk and talk in this weekend as well. And Sunday, I will have another writing video as well. So I'll see everybody later. I was toying with a heart. You said it would. That would be a good one.